Alright, so let's start with some good news. So wildcard just posted a new update a few hours ago at the time of me recording this, and that update actually patched a few things. It includes the meshing exploit that I released 2 days ago, I believe, and it also includes the charge lantern exploit that I released just 12 hours ago. So huge shout out to wildcard for actually managing to patch things this fast. That is really something that I've never seen in my years of playing this game, right? But anyways, also huge shout out to anyone who actually tagged Wildcard on Twitter, because I've seen many people actually tagging Wildcard like the video to show them about this exploit, and that actually did a lot, I think, to actually alert Wildcard of the situation, so they were able to patch this so fast. Now, I might actually also make a Twitter so I can also help in tagging Wildcard, but that'll have to be down the line, and I'll have to check out how it works. I'm not that familiar with Twitter myself. Alright, so that's all the thank you gone. Now back to the complaining part. As much as I would like to thank Wildcard, which by the way, they did a great job by patching this so fast. This has been purging official server for literally months now, especially the meshing exploit, and it's amazing that they have actually managed to patch it out this fast. However, that does not mean that the patch is actually completely good. You see, the real problem with the meshing is the climbing pick. The climbing pick works with so many different structures that is actually the main reason why meshing is such a big problem, or why it is still even possible. And unfortunately, Wildcard did not fix that. What they did to fix the billboard meshing method was they actually increases the collision hitbox of the billboard, so you can no longer place the billboard right under the ceiling, which you have to collide it into the ceiling in order for this method to work. However, the problem with fixing it like this is, one, any server that does not have collision enabled will still have this mesh method available on that server, because the way Wildcard fixes was just to prevent you from placing it. So if you don't have collision on, you run the risk of people being able to mesh with this method. So for any unofficial servers out there, you might want to take this into account when deciding if you want to enable collision or not. Second, the main problem I have with Wildcard fixing it like this is because I actually have a structure left behind from my last testing on single player. Wildcard does not remove the structure. Obviously, they can't really single out the structure and remove it. But what they did was, because they made it impossible to build it, any existing structure that still has it on the server, people will still be able to mesh with the old structure. So they did not patch anything regarding the actual mesh method. Instead, they prevented people from building new mesh, spots. So what you need to do if you own a server on official or unofficial if you're an admin, is you need to go around the entire server and destroy every single one of these structures, because there are ways where people can stay under the mesh without getting detected by simply riding on a flyer after going under it. So this pretty much makes everyone still in danger of this method, because anyone with this structure still on the server anywhere could simply go under the mesh and fly towards your base and then mesh it from there. So you need to go around the entire server, or have everyone on your server go around and look for these mesh spots, I guess. Because if there's one mesh spot on the server, this could jeopardize the entire server, because people who know what they're doing could literally mesh the entire server using one single mesh bot. It is hard, but it's not impossible. So that's something that I feel like everyone should be aware, and you guys have to do it right now. Now, just another quick announcement before you go. I think this is fairly important, so I do advise you to hear it out. So 2 days after I released the mesh method on YouTube, someone actually approached me and told me that there's another mesh method which is even more broken, using the same concept. So with a climbing pick and some certain structure built in a certain way that allow you to mesh under the map. At that time, because I thought that Wildcard would fix the meshing exploit by fixing the actual climbing pick itself, so I didn't really feel the need to actually make another video on that topic, so I kind of just let it go. However, unfortunately, it seems that Wildcard did not actually fix the climbing pick itself, and I just tested this a few hours ago on single player, and the meshing exploit unfortunately still works. Now, seeing that the last video actually got Wildcard's attention and they were able to patch the meshing exploit really fast, I feel like that it is my responsibility to also release this meshing exploit as well. Because if people think that their base is just safe because the last meshing exploit got released, or got patched, sorry, they're not, right? They are not safe, because there are still people, be it probably a smaller number of people, who knows how to mesh using this meshing exploit, and I know that a bunch of people have actually been doing this on official because there's people who's reporting it to me that they've been meshed. Now, the one thing I think I didn't do very well last time was I didn't give people enough time to actually prepare. Like, sure, I did mention how you can counter this exploit by spamming foundations above your cave, which I know that many of you have actually done, and it has probably, hopefully, saved some bases. Now, I've actually seen quite a few comments on the last video saying that the anti-mesh could prevent all of these meshing methods. Unfortunately, I would really want that to be the case, but there are ways to circumvent the anti-mesh, which is pretty easy actually. So if you want to guarantee that your base is safe, make sure you do foundation spam if you live in a cave. Like, even if you think I'm bluffing, it doesn't really hurt you or your tribe to just place a human foundation on top of the cave. It's not like it's going to like have any negative impact on you whatsoever. Alright, so just to give you guys a heads up, so you have like a few days to actually place foundations to prevent like people from actually meshing your base. I'll be releasing this video right after the weekends, so Wildcard will have like an entire week to figure out a solution for this method and not just have like one day before like weekend break. But yeah, so I'll be releasing this after the weekend, so make sure you do have foundations above any cave you own to make sure no one actually meshes, and remember to clean up any of the billboard method on your server, because that could still be used to mesh your base. But that's about it for me for today, and remember to stay safe, stay inside, and try not to get meshed, and I'll see you all legends in the next one. Peace out.